Hello children, Chapter 5 Exponents and Powers, Class 7 for ICSE students from Viva Education Publication Textbook. The solution of exercise 5.2 continued. I've already given the solution of 1 to 7 questions of exercise 5.2 chapter 5. So let's begin. 8th question. Simplify and answer each of the following in exponential form. Now the first one, A question. -3 upon 31 raised to the power of 5 multiplied by -3 upon 31 raised to the power of 4 divided by -3 upon 31 raised to the power of 8. The bases are same, so wherever there is multiplication we have to add the exponents, and wherever there is division we have to subtract. So here the solution of this will be -3 upon 31 raised to the power of 5 plus 4 minus 8, because first is multiplication and then it is division. So we have to subtract 8 from 5 plus 4. So that gives you -3 upon 31, 9 minus 8. And that gives you -3 upon 31 raised to the power of 1. That is the answer. B question. -3 raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3. So the indices or the exponents have to be multiplied here. So multiplied by 1 upon -3 raised to the power of 3 whole raised to the power of 2. So in the solution we have given -3 raised to the power of 2 into 3 multiplied by 1 upon -3 raised to the power of 3 into 2, because a raised to m whole raised to n is a raised to m into n. That is the law of exponent used here. So here -3 raised to the power of 6 minus 6, because it is upon -3 raised to the power of 3 into 2. So therefore we have to subtract the exponents, and that gives you -3 raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1, because anything raised to the power of 1 except 0. So all the integers except non-zero integers raised to the power of 0 will give you 1, because we cannot have 0 into 0 as 1. 0 cannot be. So non-zero it should be. So that is 1 is the answer. -3 raised to the power of 0 is 1. C question. -2 upon 5 raised to the power of 7 divided by -2 raised to the upon 5 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by -2 upon 5 raised to the power of 2. So first is division. So we subtract 7 minus 3 and then multiplied by -2 raised upon 5 raised to 2. So we have to add 2 to 8. So 4 plus 2, and that gives you -2 upon 5 raised to the power of 6. Ninth question. Simplify and express as a rational number. So A question is 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by 3 upon 4 raised to the power of 2. So we have to simplify this as 2 raised to the power of 4 divided by 3 raised to the power of 4 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 2 divided by 4 raised to the power of 2. Now 2 raised to the power of 4 means 16 upon 3 raised to the power of 4 means 81, and multiplied by 3 square is 9 upon 4 square is 16. So we have in the numerator 16 multiplied by 9, and in the denominator 81 multiplied by 16. So we can cancel 16 with 16 and 9 with 81 as 1 upon 9. So we have the answer 1 upon 9 as the rational number. B question. 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 3 into 3 upon 5 raised to the power of 4 into 7 upon 2 raised to the power of 3. Now 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 3 means 2 raised to the power of 3 upon 3 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by, again similar, 3 raised to the power of 4 upon 5 raised to the power of 4, that is a upon b raised to m, gives you a raised to the power of m upon b raised to the power of m. So that law is applicable here. So 7 raised to the power of 3 divided by 2 raised to the power of 3. So when you simplify this, you will get 8 upon 27 multiplied by 81 upon 625 multiplied by 343 upon 8. So in the numerator we have 8 into 81 into 343, and in the denominator we have 27 multiplied by 625 into 8. Now 8 cancels with 8. 27 ones are 27, so 27, 3s are 81. So we get 3 into 343, that is 1029 upon 625 is the rational number. We can convert this into mixed fraction also, but not needed because they have asked rational number. Now see question, negative 1 upon 3 raised to the power of 5 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by 3 upon 4 raised to the power of 2. Now negative 1 raised to the power of 5 upon 3 raised to the power of 5 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 2 upon 4 raised to the power of 2. So now negative 1 raised to the power of 5 is negative 1 multiplied by 3 raised to 3 is 27 and 3 raised to 2 is 9 upon 3 raised to 5 is 243 and 4 raised to 2 is 16. So negative 1 into 243, because 27 9s are 243, divided by 243 into 16. Now 243 gets cancelled with 243. So the answer is negative 1 upon 16 is the rational number for this question. Now the D question. Negative 3 upon 4 raised to the power of 3 divided by negative 5 upon 2 raised to the power of 3 divided by 2 raised to the power of 3. Now this is in the bracket, so we'll first solve the bracket. So negative 3 upon 4 multiplied by 2 upon negative 5 raised to the power of 3 divided by 2 raised to the power of 3. Now when you simplify this, negative gets cancelled and that becomes positive, and 2 upon 4, so 2 ones are 2 2s are. So here in the denominator we have 2 and 5, so that becomes 10, and in the numerator we have 3. Since both are negative, we have positive here. So 3 divided by 10 raised to the power of 3. Now divided by 2 raised to the power of 3 means multiplied by half raised to the power of 3. And therefore our answer is 3 raised to the power of 3 is 27 upon 10 raised to the power of 3 is 1000 multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. So the rational number is 27 upon 8000. We can't cancel anything because there is no common factor. 10th question. Simplify and express the result as power of 10. 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 11 multiplied by 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 7. This is in the bracket. So we'll first solve the bracket, and divided by another bracket is 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 8 multiplied by 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 10. Now first bracket, when you solve 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 11 plus 7 divided by 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 8 plus 10. So 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 18 divided by 3 upon 17 raised to the power of 18. So that is equal to 3 upon 17 multiplied by 17 upon 3 whole raised to the power of 18. And that gives you 1 raised to the power of 18, and that is equal to 1, because any 1 multiplied by 18 times it is 1. But that when you express in the power of 10, it is 10 raised to 0. So 10 raised to 0 gives you 1. 11th question. Determine the value of x in each of the following. Now the bases are same, so the powers will be equal. So therefore here 3 raised to 3 whole raised to 7 is equal to 3 raised to 7x. Now when you simplify this, 3 into 7, because 3 raised to 7, so that will give you 3 into 7 is equal to 7x. So x is equal to 21 divided by 7, that is 3. B question. Here I have skipped one step, that is 3 raised to the power of 3 into 7 is equal to 3 raised to the power of 7x. So that I have taken as 3 into 7 equal to 7x. B question. Negative 2 raised to the power of 11 divided by negative 2 raised to the power of 9, that is equal to negative 2 raised to the power of 2x. Since bases are equal, powers are also equal. So negative 2, here I have solved that. 11 minus 9 is equal to negative 2 raised to 2x. Therefore 2x, because 11 minus 9 is 2. So 2x is equal to 2, and therefore x is equal to 1. 47, C question. 47 raised to the power of x divided by 47 raised to the power of 21 is equal to 47 raised to the power of 45. Same property is applicable here. So 47 raised to the power of x minus 21 equal to 47 raised to the power of 45. So x minus 21 equal to 45, thus x is equal to 45 plus 21, and that is 66. D question. 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 26 divided by 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 22 is equal to 2 upon 3 raised to the power of x. Thus 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 26 minus 22 is equal to 2 upon 3 raised to the power of x. Thus x is equal to 26 minus 22, that is equal to 4. So answer is 4. 12th question. Simplify. A. Negative 1 upon 3 raised to the power of 2 whole raised to the power of negative 2 and whole raised to the power of negative 1. So here the application is of the law of exponent a raised to the power of m whole raised to n whole raised to, suppose p we take. Then here there are 3 exponents. So negative 1 upon 3 whole raised to 2 multiplied by. So we have to multiply it. 2 multiplied by negative 2 into negative 1. That is equal to negative 1 upon 3. 2 into 2 is 4, and both are negative, so it becomes positive. So the answer is negative raised to 4 is positive 1. Yeah, 1 upon 81 is the answer. Sorry, 1 upon 81. Please check it. Correct it. 1 upon 81, because it's a even exponent. Even number is the exponent. So negative 1 becomes positive 1. Negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 9 divided by negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 3 is equal to negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 9 minus 3. And 9 minus 3 is 6. So here I have taken correctly. Negative 2 raised to the power of 6 is 64, and 3 raised to the power of 6 is 729. Negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 1 divided by negative 5 upon 2 raised to the power of 1 and whole raised to the power of negative 1. Now negative 2 upon 3 multiplied by, because here a raised to m divided by b raised to m. So that becomes a upon b raised to m. So therefore negative 2 upon 3 multiplied by 2 upon negative 5 raised to the power of negative 1 and whole raised to the power of 1. So negative 4 upon negative 15 raised to the power of negative 1 into negative 1, and that is why 4 upon 15 to the power of 1 gives you 4 upon 15. Now D question. 3 raised to the power of negative 1 minus 5 raised to the power of negative 1 and the whole raised to the power of negative 1 is equal to 1 upon 3, because 3 raised to the power of negative 1 is 1 upon 3 minus 5 raised to the power of negative 1 is 1 upon 5. Here the law is a raised to negative m is equal to 1 upon a raised to m. This is applicable here. So that gives you, when you subtract that fractions, we have 15 as the LCM and 5 minus 3, and that will give you 2 upon 15 raised to the power of negative 1, and we can just take the reciprocal 15 upon 2 raised to the power of 1, and that is equal to 15 upon 2, and that simplification in the mixed fraction we have written as 7.5. Now the 13th question. If P upon Q is equal to negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 9 divided by negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 8, then find P upon Q square. This is a solution. Thus P upon Q equal to negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 9 minus 8, because division it is. So that is equal to negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 1. Thus, so P upon Q is negative 2 upon 3 raised to the power of 1, and therefore P upon Q square is negative 2 upon 3 whole raised to 2, that is 4 upon 9. 14th question. If P upon Q is equal to 3 upon 4 raised to 18 divided by 3 upon 4 raised to 16, so 3 upon 4 raised to the power of 18 minus 16, that is 3 upon 4 raised to the power of 2. That is the value of P upon Q. So P upon Q square will be square of 3 upon 4 raised to the power of 2 whole raised to the power of 2. So that gives you 3 upon 4 whole raised to 4, and that will be 81 upon 256. So this completes 5.2 exercise, 14 questions, and in first part there were 7 questions. In this part there are 7 more questions, and I have few questions, I have solved few questions which are little tedious from exercise 5.3. So let's continue with that. So solution of exercise 5.3, I have already given you the explanation of scientific notation in one of my short video. So you can view that, and then I am solving only 2, 3 and 4 questions from 6 questions. So first I am not solving because that is expanded form. Second I am solving third and fourth, and again the fifth and sixth are similar to this third and fourth. So we have to find the distance only and also the scientific notation. So that is easy. So write scientific notation. Now a question is 220. There are 9 zeros. So 9 zeros when you count and plus 2 zeros we have to count, and we will write the scientific notation as 2.2 into 10 raised to 11, because there are 11 places after the decimal point, and therefore we write it as 10 raised to 11. After the decimal point, in the sense we have put the decimal point, so we have actually cut. It was actually 9 plus 1, 22 into 10 raised to 10. But since we have taken 2.2, that is 2.2 is 22 upon 10. So since we have taken 10 in the denominator, we have to add 1 to the numerator. So therefore 10 raised to 11 it happens. It gives you 10 raised to 11. So 2.2 into 10 raised to 11. Now 4.89213476,000. So 4.89213476. So here we have to start counting from 1 to 80, from 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4.89213476 multiplied by 10 raised to 11 will be the scientific notation. Then here it is, since it is 0 point something, the answer will be in negative 10, power of 10 will be negative. So here we have to start counting from zeros, or we can start counting from 6. 1, 2, 3 backward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 zeros, and therefore 6.532. Whatever numbers are there we have to write, and then we have to leave 6. So therefore into 10 raised to negative 8 it will be. So you have to be careful while counting the zeros, and then that many zeros and plus that digit what gives you there, first digit what you get. After that we have to put the point, and then that many power will be there. So negative 8 is the power. How many seconds are there in a leap year? Write a scientific form. Now leap year means how many days? 366 days. So we have to count how many, what is the time. So in seconds means one day has 24 hours. 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So we have to multiply all, and that gives you 3.1622400. So 3.16224 multiplied by 10 raised to 7, because we have to count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have to write 7 is the power in seconds it is. Fourth, speed of light is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Distance travelled in 1 year by light is called a light year. So what is the distance travelled in 1 year by the speed, by the light? That can be calculated by speed multiplied by the time. So time is 365 is 1 year multiplied by 20, as we have calculated in the previous question. So 365 into 24 into 3600 multiplied by 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter. So that gives you 94608,000 into 10 raised to 8. Now we have to start counting from 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and plus 8, that is 15. So 9.4608 into 10 raised to 15 meter is the answer of the fourth question. So like, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Again and again I'm telling you, like, subscribe. And if you have already subscribed my channel, thank you for that. But tell your friends to subscribe my channel and view the full video. You will be able to understand if you view the full video properly. So share with your friends whose children are there in standard 7 and view my channel, subscribe, like, and don't forget to press the bell icon. I have uploaded many videos for standard 6 and also from standard 1 to standard 8. So please view Thank you, children. God bless you.